Should I dump my boyfriend if he's broke? It depends. What's up, champ? You guys have been blowing up my phone with the craziest questions when it comes to money, and I am going to answer the 13 most unhinged, inappropriate questions about money, investing, and Wall Street. We're gonna dive into everything. Now, I saw a preview of some of these questions in my DMs, and let me tell you, these are absolutely wild. But my goal is to be as transparent and honest with everything. We don't gatekeep anything when it comes to this community of smart money moves. And if you haven't met me yet, my name is Kenny Finance, and I'm your private equity baby, where I came out the womb working at Blackstone and KKR, and all I know is investing and saving in private equity. That's it. So if you're new here, do me a huge favor and smash the subscribe button, and let's dive into the first question about dating and finances. All right, so this first question that I received on my Instagram, and if you haven't, check out I am Kenny Finance on Instagram. This one is absolutely unhinged. Should I dump my boyfriend if he's broke? That's tough. The answer to that is, it depends. You want to view your relationship like an investment, okay? You don't want to already meet someone that is at the top, that has everything they could possibly imagine. You want to find someone that has clear goals, has a clear roadmap to get there, and has the discipline to make their dreams come true. If your partner has all of that, but not the dollars today, I think that's a solid investment. But if your partner is broke in his wallet, broke in his heart, and has a broke mentality, get rid of that guy. He's chalked. All right, let's move on to the next question. Who should pay on the first date? This is very simple. The man. I have a very strong opinion. Before you even think about taking your partner out on a date, fellas, you need to mentally and economically be prepared to buy flowers, to pick them up, or send a car to pick them up, to pay for dinner, to pay for dessert, and send them home before street lights come on. Plain and simple. If you are not in a stable and strong position to take care of yourself, don't try to invite someone else into that mess, all right? Handle your business first and be able to really be an economically savvy gentleman. Now, you can follow all my content for smart money moves on how to get your bag up, but follow that, take care of that, and then go take your shawty out on a date. All right, chat? This third one is hilarious. I've just now found out what this lingo is, but this question is, should I buy a lamb chop? So for all the boomers that are watching this content, if you don't know what a lamb chop is a beautiful piece of automotive artwork, AKA a Lamborghini. Now, I don't know where that lingo came from, but this person is asking, should they use their discretionary cash to go invest and buy a lamb chop? I'll tell you first and foremost, if you do not have a $10 million index fund portfolio, you're buying yourself some rental properties and already have some cash flowing businesses, do not even think about buying yourself a lamb chop. Plain and simple. It's a dumb material purchase, and the point of a car is to get you from point A to point B. That's it. Don't waste too much cash and resources on an asset that depreciates. Because I'll tell you one thing, a car loses almost half of its value the second that it drives off the lot. So save the cash from that lamb chop, put it in some index fund, and really build yourself some incredible wealth by compounding. But if you're dying to get a lamb chop, one of the smart money plays to do it is you get with your friends, you all split a lease on a lamb chop across 15 to 30 people, and next thing you know it, a $10,000 per month car note ends up being like $500 when you prorate your share. Granted, you get to drive the car for 6 hours out the month, but you get your piece of the lamb chop. Okay, this is a real one. What is the dumbest thing that I've seen people do with their money? I don't go out anymore, but when I used to go to these great places where folks would spend their money buying like tables and sections and bottles and stuff at clubs. And I heard that there are some clubs where people go and they will have bottle wars, where a section goes against a section and the competition is who can buy the most bottles at the club. Granted, that's not the dumbest thing I've seen. The dumbest thing I've seen is folks that are participating in a bottle war, but then pouring the drinks on the ground to showcase that purchasing those bottles aren't material to them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are spending thousands of dollars for beverages that they procured and sourced for $50 to $100 each, max, wholesale discounts. And here you are wasting your money by not even drinking it, you're just pouring it on the ground. That is literally taking cash, setting it on fire, and burying it. My opinion, don't go out. Go to sleep early, wake up early, work out, have fun during the daytime, all right? And take every single dollar that you own and put it into a stock portfolio, an index fund portfolio, buy yourself some real estate for passive income, buy yourself a small business to start building generational wealth, things like that. Don't waste your money trying to fit in and look nice. But what I noticed by being around some of the wealthiest people in the entire world is they don't need to flex their money and their wealth as a symbol. Instead, they let their businesses speak for them, they let their portfolio speak for them, and they simply live a very humble and quiet life. So if you are ever invited out to go out and go to a club and participate in a bottle war, let your ego go, okay? plain and simple. Get you a nice ginger ale. It costs like $7 these days at the bar, and enjoy yourself a nice, cost-efficient, fun night out. Okay, so this question, it may be a little inappropriate, but it's kind of mean also. Why is your broke ass on YouTube selling shit? Well, I didn't know you felt that way. Plain and simple, I'm a private equity guy. This isn't my full-time job. My job is to find businesses, buy businesses, and grow them. And like I said in the intro, my only mission is to take everything that I learned on Wall Street and give it to Main Street completely for free. And FYI, I don't think you noticed, but I'm not selling a course. So out of the kindness of my heart, community service, I am giving you all smart money content. But I also am obsessed and love YouTube. I think it is a platform for you to multiply the impact and the impressions that you have. And I can take everything that I have in my brain and multiply it and give it away completely for free for folks that could be interested in making smart money moves. So I don't care if you don't like that. I don't care if you think I'm selling stuff on YouTube, but for those that are interested and want to start making better financial decisions, hit that subscribe button. It means the absolute world to me as well as my team. And guess what? It costs you absolutely nothing to invite yourself into this community to start making better financial decisions. So I'm not selling stuff. I'm just providing you with the resources and the roadmap to make smarter money decisions. Thank you. And keep bringing on the hate. I love the haters. I eat that stuff up every single day. So we're gonna take it up a notch and focus on like 2 questions that I received that are more focused on actually investing. And I think these are really useful, and it gives you a little bit of sense of how I think about allocating dollars to investments. So this first one is, do I need to invest, or can I just save money to get rich? That's an amazing question, because I wanna introduce a concept called inflation. And inflation is when the prices of goods are rising at a certain rate every single year. Like if you haven't been living under a rock, you might have noticed that the cost of eggs, the price of milk, the price of bread has slowly increased significantly over the last few years. That's called inflation. Now, what happens when you save money? When you save money and you put it into a mattress, the only thing that happens is that the value of your dollars stays flat, but the price and the cost of living increases as well. So you're reaching a point where you are not seeing any sort of participation of gains in your assets and the value of your purchasing power, because inflation is eating up at that every single day. So can you save your way to get rich? Sure, you can save your way to have a large principal amount of dollars. But the issue is every single day your purchasing power is going to go down significantly. So what do smart people do? They invest their dollars so that they can receive a rate of return, like say an index fund, 10.5%, 11%, which significantly outpaces the pace of inflation every single year. So the smart money play is do not put all your money in your mattress and a savings account. Instead, toss it into index funds that allow for it to actually grow and participate in compounding returns. And that's a good play. Now this next one, this sounds like a little personal. I don't even know what's the question. It says, I'm poor. Stop talking about investing. This doesn't apply to poor people. Okay, look, let me keep it a buck. I was poor, all right? I came from a family where financial literacy didn't exist. And I'll tell you right now, if you think that because you are poor and low income or sitting in credit card debt, that you can't start building yourself the foundations of financial freedom, you already lost this battle. Here's the first step. The first thing you should do is that if you had the time to look at this video and comment that you're poor and you can't make a smart financial decision, stop watching YouTube and go and try to find yourself a side hustle or additional job to build yourself passive income. Because the best way to get out of extremely low income is to find a supplemental source of cash to come in every single month. That could be freelancing, that could be working a different hourly job, it could be gig economy like Uber or DoorDash, any way to use your key commodity, which is your time and your skills, to start earning yourself supplemental income on top of your regular 9 to 5. Now, once you have that extra cash coming in, here's the play. You use that to immediately pay down any of the debt that you currently have. That's most important, because the debt grows at an interest rate that just slowly eats away at your soul. So once you start paying off your debt, then I want you to start building yourself an emergency savings account and put that in a high yield savings account where you're going to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses stored up and saved up, receiving in a high yield savings account 3 to 4% per year. And it's kind of related to that inflation question. Your savings in a high yield savings account kind of matches that inflation rate as well. And then once you have your 3 to 6 months of savings already locked and loaded to where you kind of have that financial freedom mentally, then you start allocating as much as you can towards investments. Every single paycheck, all the cash that comes from your side hustles, put it in investments. And then a handful of months, maybe years, maybe a few years, you start to realize that you have a massive compounding balance of savings and investing that is working for you. And then you can't call yourself poor anymore. Then you're a smart money warrior, plain and simple. So all because that you are in a poor, low-income economic situation today does not mean you can change that in a span of 6 to 12 months to 2 years to 3 years. Give yourself the time, give yourself the discipline, and freaking stick to it, and I guarantee you'll get out of your position. So no, I'm not gonna stop talking about investing because I want this particular message to especially go to poor people, to understand that you can change your circumstances in a handful of years with discipline, hard work, and consistency. Plain and simple. All right? And matter of fact, I only want my content to go to poor people because this could actually make the impact that I want to have with this channel of Kenny Finance and Smart Money Moves, because I want to show every single person all across the world that you can truly make significant change in your wealth, in your family, and generational wealth when it comes to small, smart financial habits. So yeah, I'm not stopping. Moving on. What was your job on Wall Street? So my main job was to find the best businesses in the entire world and use our private equity strategy and capital to go purchase and buy real businesses. I did that all day, every day. It's in my DNA, and I love this stuff. I absolutely love this stuff. So that was my job working in private equity at Blackstone and KKR. And then the next one, this was pretty OD. Who makes the most money on Wall Street? So it kind of depends on your level, but if you're assuming someone is the same age and the same level, I'll compare 3 key income areas like investment banking, private equity, then hedge funds. And I would say for investment banking, they make a crap ton of money relative to what they do, and they spend a lot of hours, so they kind of earned it. But their income is here. The next tier is private equity, because private equity, you're earning bonus, salary, as well as, once you're senior, carried interest, which is a piece of the deals that you purchase and you sell, and some of the returns from the deals you get as well as a participant in that fund. So private equity's returns are in the middle here. But then there's a whole different world of like wealth creation as a financial services professional. And that's called hedge funds. And I don't know if you know anything about hedge funds, but they invest in public securities. And when I tell you that good hedge funds that beat the market have consistently good returns and a sizable fund, those folks are raking it in. And the next part of that question is, how much are we actually talking? And some of my friends work at some of the best hedge funds in the entire world, and we're in the same age range. And when I tell you that they are pulling in millions of dollars per year, like not just one, but multiple of millions of dollars per year for investing in public securities, like researching stocks, finding the best stock to buy and taking a bet on it and watching that thing grow and then selling it, getting your gains. That's their life. Granted, it's very intense. It's a psychologically intense business as well. And there's a little bit of long hours, and it's a very tough competitive game. But if you can compete, and if you can win, and if you can pick right, have good returns, great conviction, and good solid theses, they call it more money than God is what folks make in hedge funds. So that's a funny one. And then this one is everyone on Wall Street doing shady things? No, not at all. That's like asking, is everyone on Silicon Valley hacking you? No, not at all. Do you know how many people work in compliance teams at some of these finance firms? Like, it is like hundreds of thousands of people to ensure that the firms that they work in are complying by rules and regulations and doing right there by the people. And the firms that I have worked at, Blackstone, KKR, Morgan Stanley, these are places that have the utmost integrity in every single thing they do. All because you work in finance or on Wall Street doesn't mean you're an evil person in your DNA. No, you're just applying your talents and your intellect to a space that is focused on capital allocation, on supporting and growing businesses, and helping to further the economy. Plain and simple. So not everyone is evil and bad, and don't let bad examples of 1 or 2 bad apples spoil the entire bunch. So no, I think there's a very, 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 very small slither of people that are doing shady, inappropriate, not following the rules, but majority of the industry are good actors that are trying to do right by their clients and their stakeholders. And I'll tell you now, if it wasn't for investment banks and private equity and hedge funds that manage capital for endowment funds, for pension funds, the world wouldn't be where it is today. Like, there's a lot of good being made through smart economic and capital allocation decisions. That's just my opinion. Now, I'm biased, like I said, I'm a private equity baby, but I think it is a very sound and really cool place to work. And if you're ever interested in working in that space, hit me up. I'll give you some of my tips to break in, but I think it's a really solid ecosystem of doing right in the economy. All right, this one's also kind of similar to it. Private equity is going to buy my employer. Am I chalked? No, not at all. I don't know who has this preconceived notion that if private equity goes and buys your company, like, all of the walls are going to be stripped, everyone's going to be fired, and it's just going to be an absolute fire sale of the business. No, like, that was like one movie, maybe. Like, a large chunk of privately owned businesses in the world are owned by private equity. And what do? They hire people, they launch new products, they have new initiatives, and they are focused on building leadership teams that can unlock the next stage of growth for the business. Now, their prioritization of generating return is to build and grow the business, not strip it and sell every single thing in the office. Stop watching those movies. Now, this question I love. Does money actually make you happy? Good question. No. I don't think being extremely wealthy and having a bunch of money actually makes you happy. What I think makes you happy are 3 key things: family, friends, and the great outdoors. And most of those things you can experience without having significant amounts of wealth. So what I recommend is maximize the relationships that you have the memory dividends that you can build in life, but then also ensure that you're experiencing things that are outdoors and free. The happiest that I've been has been chilling with my friends and my family on a beach in Laguna. That's a vibe. I didn't need to have $1,000, $100,000. Granted, I might have had to pay for parking, but that's not breaking the bank, right? So asking that question of, does money truly make you happy, is a truly deep introspective experience. We want to understand money isn't everything. Money is simply a tool to unlock the mental, the financial, and the time freedom to actually live a truly abundant and fun life. So like I said, the most valuable things in the entire world, family, friends, and the outdoors, money can't buy those things. So this was pretty cool. This was focused on taxes. Is it true that rich people don't pay taxes? Let me just clarify, like, you can't not pay taxes. But with some of the higher net worth people that have access to the resources and the knowledge around the tax code, now what they do is they use strategies to reduce their overall taxable income. And that's a very legal thing to do. Now, how do you do that? You explore the list of deductions in the US tax code, which is publicly available, that anyone can read. You don't need to pay billions of dollars for it. Like, ask ChatGPT what deductions apply to me. And you can find ways to deduct your overall taxable income. And the lower your taxable income, the lower taxes you have to pay. Now, some folks can reduce it significantly to where their tax bill is very low, right? Like Warren Buffett at one point was paying less taxes than his secretary. He's a billionaire because he had very sound strategic tax deductions. And those could be things like donating to charity, business expenses, and things like that. So yes, it is true that high net worth folks just have access to knowledge of the tax code to reduce their taxable income significantly. But that's not like gatekeeping. And if you're actually interested, you can check out this next video where I showcase to you what are the proven tax strategies of upper high net worth individuals to reduce their taxable income almost to zero. It's possible. You just gotta be very creative, sound, and follow the rules, and you can get there. So if you guys enjoyed this video, bang that like button. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.